Well, we just finished what I would say is an extreme masterclass in entrepreneurship with Mark Randolph, who started and founded Netflix. Um, I know I've got tons of pages of notes, like just one-liners and amazing thoughts and applicable things. Let's start today with Tay. Tay, what did you get written down from this? Because I saw your head down writing notes the entire time.
Yeah, it was just like you said, when you hear somebody who's been in the field actually doing it, like you can tell from like the certainty of how they speak, and also like just the real information that you're hearing of like it takes work and it is hard, and you have to go through things that most people wouldn't last. So I think the first thing that I wrote down that I really loved because it's like so relatable. And he was talking about his wife, how she didn't support him at first. And what I wrote down is like your dream is for you, not other people. And sometimes, in many cases, especially with our business model, most people, when you sign up, like the people around you just won't understand like what you're doing. But I think what I've had to learn and try to really tell most people, like, that's okay. That's to be expected. When you step out and do something different, you can't expect everybody else to be as excited about you. But you have to let that inspire you to keep going. I tell people all the time, like, same thing with me. I had in the beginning of our journey, me and Carrie's, like I was that person. So I know what it like to like not believe in somebody. When I didn't see her as consistent, then I became one of those people that telling her like, this isn't gonna work. So for me, I tell people all the time, like she got us started, but we kept us going. And the reason that we kept us going is because she never quit, regardless of what I said. She gave me an ultimatum. Like, if you don't want to be like, you don't want to do this with me, stop your auto shipment. I'm not dragging you to do this. And I just love her confidence in that. And I think for me, that just gave me more belief in this company. And I started to show up more, not for her to support her, but to believe in the dream that she decided she wanted to build for our family. So that was the first thing. The second thing I love, and I think he quoted his dad, and he said, the only way out is through. And I love that. And I was like I said, I listen to things, and I go back to like some of my old quotes and other notes that I have. And the one that I wrote down is when it said, difficult times can define you, diminish you, or develop you. And I think for me, I always look at it like you have to let it develop you. You have to understand like you're going to go through things, but what can you learn from these things? So I love that. And I also understand like just with this business model is that, tough situations build tough people. We've all heard that before. And what we have to understand, like to become that person, like there's certain things about you that can't go to that next level. So when you're going through the process of something, many times it feel like you're being broken. It feel like nothing is going right. But for me, like you have to shift your perspective and understand that you're growing, like you're getting off a lot of the things that you can no longer take it to that next level. So I love that. The third thing that I wrote down, he was talking about, he said rejection and failure takes people out most of the time. And I love when he shifted his perspective, and he shared his perspective. He said, don't think of failure as failure. And I love that because personally, that's how I look at it. I don't see failure as failure. What I wrote down is something I try to tell myself is like, failure is an opportunity to reevaluate what you really want in life. Like if something don't go your way, don't look at it as you're failing. Look at it as like, okay, either I can learn from this or I can let it go. So you have to give yourself that option. You have to take like just this is failure. Like it means my life had to stop. Take that off the table. Like no, like either I can walk away from this or I can learn how to do it in a new way. And part of that is always being open and flexible to learning things and doing things in a new way. And just the last thing that I wrote down that I just really love and just really just to the point. He said, you just have to start. You just have to start. Whatever it is that you want to do, you don't have to have the crazy ideas. You don't have to have the money. You don't have to do anything but just to start. And what I wrote down is one thing that I personally try to live by is like, if I'm unsure of something, I don't wait till I'm 100% sure before I do something. If I feel like I'm 51% sure that I'm supposed to do it, then I do it like I'm 100% sure. So like, don't wait for things to line up and everything to be perfect. Like give you like, literally, this is what I do. If I'm 51% sure that I'm supposed to do it, then I do it like I'm 100% supposed to be doing it. If I'm 51% that I don't supposed to do it, then I don't do it. I don't leave like I don't be lukewarm with it. Either I'm gonna go all in or I'm gonna go all out with it. And I think you just have to have that mindset. And just the last thing I wanted to share, and I just this really just stuck out to me because Ed kept asking like, "Is this your philosophy? Is this your philosophy?" And what I wanted, like for me, it was like pointing back to like, regardless of what you do in life, you have to build your foundation on principles and values that will not waver. life is going to hit you like so many ways that you can't imagine. But if you got your principles, you got your values, if that is in line, no matter what life throws up against you, you have that to rely on. That's going to always give you that hope that you need to get through and to really see the bigger picture in things. So for me, scripture is that one thing. So that's why always when I'm doing things, I talk about quotes and I talk about scripture, because those are these one-liners that remind me, like, you don't have to sit down and just read the whole Bible. And when you're going through something, you can have this one scripture that pops up and just remind you, like, be strong. I will be with you wherever you go. And that gives me that boost, like, okay, I'm going to do this. Nothing is going to stop me from doing it but myself. So many times I think you have to get out of your head and you have to understand, like, you only need like these little triggers, like we talked about in the last video. Like, you have to have these triggers. If it's words, if it's a power stance, whatever it might be, you have to develop these things so that when life do hit you, you can fight back and empower yourself to actually take action, because action is the cure to all fear. And as long as you keep moving, nothing will stop you. So just so much good today. And I just love hearing from his background, because I literally didn't know who he was, but it was awesome to hear his background and just see he still loves what he do. Like he said, he treats it like a startup and he's created this billion-dollar business. So I just love hearing from his perspective.
So good. I got notes on notes now. So Chad, what do you have written down that I can add to this?
Well, first of all, when he says that will never work, if you've ever heard that will never work in your life, anybody listening to this, well, welcome to the world of any and every entrepreneur that ever existed, right? You joined It Works and a couple family members say that'll never work. Well, here's Netflix, and it was told that it would never work by many people, and obviously that just wasn't true. I love how he said his dad said the only way out is through. That's a powerful statement, and that's a separator between those who achieve and those who don't achieve. Some think the only way out is the way I came in, and the only way out is the way through. So that's a big one for me. I love how he talked about, that he had been involved with direct mail, and he was so excited about the internet and e-commerce and really just figuring out what somebody wants. There's a thousand, there's hundreds of thousands of problems in the world. And here at It Works, we're solving two specific problems. We're solving a health problem, which we know the majority of people in the world are not healthy right now. They could use some help getting more healthy, which means they're going to live longer and they're going to see their grandchildren, and they're going to be able to bend over and pick their grandchild up at 60 when maybe they couldn't right now. And also the money piece, and not having enough money leads to so many problems, leads to stress, leads to divorce, leads to things. So we're solving a couple of very, very specific problems. And man, here's a big one I caught too. Hopefully you guys caught this one. And this is one that came from Ed. Ed said, business is millimeters and inches. That's the difference between someone who starts and goes ruby their first year and someone who starts and goes triple diamond their first year. It's gaining ground consistently, inches and millimeters. Another way to put it, it's called the slight edge. It's having the simple disciplines practiced over time versus the simple errors in judgment. The simple errors in judgment don't move the needle, and we just get frustrated. The simple disciplines over time, you don't feel like you're going far fast, but you look back a year from now and you go, oh my gosh, I never would have believed a year ago I would have come this far. And it's just because we're doing the day. That's why I love the company puts out specifics. If you'll just do this, if you'll just do, these 10 things daily, do it for a year and look how far you go. You won't even believe how far you've gone. And so, and take a step beyond that, decide yourself to do those 10 things and, that are right in the back office, right? Decide you're going to do those 10 things and get 3-4, people around you. Don't be on your team, upline, downline, sideline, doesn't matter. Just find a few to lock in with and say, these are the things. We're going to do it every day, no matter if it's sunny out, rainy out. If I've got the flu, I'm just going to do it. And those are the people who ultimately succeed. I love John Maxwell. I mean, he's up every day at like 5 a.m., right until 9, 10, whatever. And he just decided one day he's going to do it. And that led to 100 plus books. He never just said, I'm going to write 100 plus books. He said, I'm going to do a little bit every day, every single day. Fall in love with the problem, not the idea. Man, I think that's so huge, because that keeps us focused on the deal, the real deal, which is solving health, solving money problems. And when we're focused on that, our creativity and who we are and how God designed us and the skills and talents and giftings that we have will come out, and they'll come through, and we'll enjoy the process of solving those problems. Um, just starting, we all know that, it's better to be ignorance on fire than knowledge on ice. He talked about just start. You're going to stumble, break down your pride quickly, simply, cheaply. Some people come into business and they're like, I got this grand old idea. I'm going to do this marketing campaign. We're going to do this, and it's auto everything, and it sounds nice and shiny. And you get into it and you're like, oh, I'm 10 grand into this and made $1,000. That was stupid. So not smart. Don't get paralyzed by the vision. Be flexible. There's a couple more here. What happened here? There we go. Oh man, the idea of when you're an entrepreneur, you feel alone. I think for a lot of aspiring entrepreneurs, that drives them back to the workforce, because here's the deal, guys. I mean, about 90% of the population works for the other 10%. It's kind of always been that way. It's kind of always going to be that way. And so when you're part of the 90%, you feel more connected because you are more connected. And when you're an entrepreneur, you're on a different, you're playing a different game. And it's mostly spectators watching the game. There's not near as many people in the game. So people they can't relate to you as much. And that's why it's so important to build your circle around other entrepreneurs, because entrepreneurs are just having different conversations. They're thinking different ways. They're beyond what's the family just going to do this weekend. We're trying to solve problems. We're trying to do things. And it's not made for everybody. It wasn't designed to be an entrepreneur. It's taking on additional weight. It's easy to just clock in, clock out, hang your coat up when you get home, and let that part of your life go. When you're an entrepreneur, you're always thinking, you're always solving problems. It doesn't really ever stop. Position of strength, proof of concept. I loved how he talked about, Shark Tank and stuff. I don't know why I wrote this down, but I wrote down, the simple, like, I don't know if you guys have a squatty potty yet, but when I first heard of that, I was like, what a simple problem to solve. Toilets are up too high. You go to the bathroom easier and better and strain less if you're more like in a squat. I'm like, genius. And start off small. Next thing you know, there's you come to our house, we got a squatty potty in every single bathroom. You know what I'm saying? It's like kinked, unkinked, kinked, unkinked. You guys have probably seen the commercial. So it's just simple. It's little simple things that we can solve. And maybe you're someone that there's one specific product that solved an issue for you, and that's going to be, you could become that niche. I mean, you don't have to be out promoting 40 plus products daily. You can go promote 3 that you love and build a whole entire company. Just like, for instance, the coffee. If the company just had the coffee, you could build it as big as you want. Skip that one right there. The last one I want to talk about is he said, figure out what you're good at and what you enjoy. If you just figure out, you're in It Works now, that's why you're on here. So figure out about It Works. There's so much about It Works. What are you good at in this company and what do you enjoy? And just do that a lot. And the more you do it, the more happy you're going to be. And the more happy you are, the more you're going to do it. And the success will come. Just trust the process. Keep jumping on here. Keep plugging into the company stuff, and great things will happen. So I hope that helped. And Joel, man, thank you for always bringing it, man. You're out there scouring the world and the internet to bring us great information, great content. And every single one of these just helps tweak us, I think, on an individual level where we're closer to walking out the calling and destiny in our life. So thank you for that. And Tay, thank you for just always being on here, man. You got like 27 kids on the way, a few at home right now, and you're just like, I'm going to make it happen. I'm on here all the time. So congratulations. And I love you guys, and I love being part of this.
So awesome, Chad. And, I'll just reiterate that back to Chad. Thank you, Chad, because you originally started this idea. It was your idea to bring all of this together. So if it wasn't for you coming up with the idea to do this, it never would have took shape. So we all appreciate you for creating this environment. Oh, how many notes do I have left to go over? all of them. I'm going to start with the same thing that pretty much everybody else started with. This will never work. You're going to hear that outside of your home. You're going to hear that inside of your home. Guys, that is when you know, like he said, you are doing the right thing. You know, if this is a master class on entrepreneurship, and truly, because you are a part of It Works, you have created a micro business. You have become a micro entrepreneur. And the reason why it's micro is because of the fact that you're taking an existing system and applying it. You don't have to come up with the system. We've already done all of that for you. That's why this is such an amazing business opportunity, is because of the fact that you have everything done on your behalf. It's just, are you willing to put the work in? So you are an entrepreneur. And now that you know that, like he said, you're going to always be swimming upstream. You know, the thing of it is you are going outside of the norm. So you're going to be ridiculed. You're going to be criticized because you're going against the masses. But the masses don't have what you want. The masses don't have your dream. If the masses had that, there wouldn't be masses. There'd be a bunch of individuals everywhere. But the thing is the entrepreneurs are the bold ones who step out to solve problems. I love how he said some of your rejections are going to be your biggest blessings. So when you're looking at failure, frame your failure. Like Tay said, it's going to either define you, diminish you, or develop you. Stop looking at failures as finite. It's something that ends, it's done. No, it's actually a learning process. And if you learn from it and develop from it, it can change your life and the life of those around you. The amazing thing about this business is you are personalizing health and wealth for people. You know, two of the most important things in humanity is people's health, their longevity, how they're going to live, the kind of life they're going to live, but then also the finances that are involved with taking care of themselves and a family and those around them that they love. You know, when we have something that goes on those two things, it's not a one size fits all. I don't know about your team, but everybody on my team is the same. They all do the same thing. They all want the same things. They all ask the same questions. I mean, come on, who am I kidding? Everybody is different. So this business is amazing because of the fact that you personalize it to each person that comes into your business. And so as you do that, you're going to find different solutions to same problems, because nobody's going to look at the same problem the same. This page, I have every single thing that I've written down starred. So I'll just go ahead and read them all because they were all amazing. A successful distributor to diamond ship is never the straight path you think it will be. And it's never the same path for the two different people. The way you do it is by starting now. You know, a lot of people sit there and they try and figure everything out. I've said it quite a few times, and I think Chad said it today too. Ignorance on fire will always outperform knowledge on ice. So just go out and do it and find out what works while you're doing it. Like he was saying, they were trying to figure out all the things that weren't going to work and all the things that were going to work before even doing it, not knowing that, hey, if you just do the things and find out what works, you're going to be much further ahead. You are always no good when you first start something. Guys, this is foundational. The first time you do anything, you're going to be horrible at it. Does anyone remember the first time they tried to ride a bike without somebody holding onto the back of it or without training wheels? It was probably horrendous, but guess what? You overcame, you got up and you did it again. Same thing with this business. You are going to be horrible at it. And here's another news flash. Today is the worst you are ever going to be at it, because guess what? Tomorrow you're going to be better. Do the things, get the better. Tomorrow's going to be awesome. You have to look crazy and like a fool, by the masses in order to step outside of the masses and not be a part of the masses. That's why all of this stuff that you're doing is going to seem crazy and it's going to sound crazy because you're trying to escape the rat race, like Chad says. But one of the biggest things that we see people do is they overcomplicate everything. Start with all the simple things. If you just do what your upline tells you to do, you should be successful. Here's why. Because they've been successful doing it. We talk about that all the time. If you had a millionaire telling you exactly what to do to become a millionaire, and then you don't go do that, what value is having that millionaire give you advice? If you're not willing to do the things that they tell you to do, like run an auto ship, like do your KPIs, host a post, use your social medias, network with people. When they tell you to do those things, they're not telling you to do them because they think it's a great idea and it's maybe something you should do. No, because you've come to them to ask for success tips, and success leaves clues. But also in this, success tells you exactly what to do. You just have to go out and do it. Go out and leave your comfort zone and go out and change someone else's life. Guys, ultimately, this is what it comes down to. You get into this business for yourself, but you're not by yourself. You have a team of people, and that's why when he was talking about entrepreneurship is going it alone and it's lonely and you're going the opposite direction of everybody else. Well, the amazing thing about our business model is that's not the case. We tell you steps to success. Go find 3 people to do this business with you. Because why? Because a cord of 3 strand is not easily broken. The 3 of you can go out and do amazing things together. You're going on a journey upstream together, not just by yourself. So when you're going out and doing this business for yourself, you're not by yourself. And you may get in this just like we did because you need money. It starts out as a me need, but then all of a sudden it develops into a team, which becomes a we need. And then now all of a sudden you get past your needs and it all of a sudden turns into the needs of others. That's why this business is so profound. And that's why Chad, Tay, and I get on here, is because we want to make a difference in your life. We want to give you the tools and the mindset that you can overcome any obstacle and go out and change your life and the life of those around you. So guys, we're going to end here today with that statement again. Go out and leave your comfort zone and go out and change someone else's life today. Guys, we'll see you again here next time.